The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Get the information about your property. Fourth button over tells you what your property value is. 4 different search sources that we use. And if you want to shop for a property, the very first button on there gives you a tool for shopping for a property. A window of opportunity for home buyers is our subject today. Mortgage rates are much higher today than they were at the beginning of the year, and that's had a clear impact on the housing market. As a result, the market is seeing a shift back toward the range of pre-pandemic levels for buyers and sellers in the sense of demand for buyer demand and home sales. But the transition back towards pre-pandemic levels isn't a bad thing. In fact, the years leading up to the pandemic were some of the best the housing market has seen. That's why, as the market undergoes this shift, it's important to compare today not to the abnormal pandemic years, but to the most recent normal years to show how the current housing market is still strong. Higher mortgage rates are moderating the housing market. The showing time showing index tracks the traffic of home showings according to agents and brokers. It's also a good indication of buyer demand over time. Here's a look at the data going back to 2017, showing activity moving toward the pre-pandemic levels. A 2017 through 2020 numbers give a good baseline of pre-pandemic demand. The steady up and down trends seen in each of these years show typical seasonality in the market. The pandemic years, and if you're watching us again on ronsiegelradio.tv or any of our socials, you're seeing those in blue. The height of those blue bars indicates how showings skyrocketed during the pandemic. The most recent data indicates buyer demand is moderating back toward more pre-pandemic levels. That's good. It's still above the pre-pandemic levels, but back closer to those. This shows that the buyer demand is coming down from levels seen over the past 2 years, and the frenzy in real estate is easing because of higher mortgage rates. For you, that means buying your next home should be less challenging than it would have been during the pandemic because there's more inventory available. Higher mortgage rates slow the once frenzied pace of home sales. As mortgage rates started to rise this year, other shifts began to occur too. One additional example is the slowing pace of home sales. Using the data from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, we're looking at existing home sales going all the way back to 2017, much like the last graph that I told you about. A similar trend emerges. So if we look at the pace of home sales, it's moderating. Again, the data paints a picture of the shift. Pre-pandemic years establish a more baseline of the number of existing homes in more typical years. The pandemic years exceeded the level seen in the previous years. That's largely because low mortgage rates were during that time spurred buyer demand and home sales grew to new heights. This year, the market is feeling the impact of higher mortgage rates, and that's moderating buyer demand and by extension, home sales. That's why the expectation for home sales this year is closer to what the market saw in 2018 and 2019. Why is all of this good news for you then? Both of those factors that open up a window of opportunity for homeowners looking to move and for buyers looking to purchase a home. As demand moderates and the pace of home sales slows, housing inventory is able to grow, and that gives you more options for your home search. So don't let the headlines about the market cooling or moderating scare you. The housing market is still strong. It's just easing off from the unsustainable frenzy it saw during the height of the pandemic, and that's a good thing. It opens up new opportunities for you to find a home that meets your needs. Bottom line, the housing market is undergoing a shift because of higher mortgage rates, but the market is still strong. You've been looking to buy a home over the last couple of years and it felt impossible to do. Now may be your opportunity. Buying a home right now is not easy, but there is more opportunity for those who are looking. And as always, I ask, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can I count on you to give them my number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com.